Hi everyone, welcome back. So I've heard many times people say that how do you read so much? How do you get the time or adjust the time to read so many books? And we also want to read but are unable to materialize our thoughts into actions. We find this whole reading journey daunting and many such number of things actually. So whoever thinks like this, let me all tell you that I also wasn't an avid reader 3 to 4 years back. I used to find reading books extremely boring, but trust me, in fact I do not know when did I suddenly develop this habit of reading books, but one thing that I know for sure is that reading books is the most beautiful thing in this world if taken with interest, of course. Also, those who struggle with this, there is one thing that you can do to develop your reading habit, and that is just make sure that whenever you are starting or beginning with your reading journey, just make sure that you choose short books like novellas, books which are under 100 to 150 pages, and that too with easy language. Trust me, you would start enjoying and loving this whole process. So as you must already have guessed by the title, that in today's video I'm gonna be talking about 10 books which are not only easy in language but are also under 100 pages. So please watch the video till the end, and now let's begin. First book which I'm going to recommend is my absolute favorite. Like, it's straight away impossible that I talk about novellas and I don't discuss this book. I'm talking about The Blue Umbrella by Ruskin Bond. Guys, I love Ruskin Sir's writing, and who doesn't? And trust me, if you are starting as a beginner or you want to start your reading journey, this book should be your first pick, hands down. This is a short story about a girl named Binya who has gotten this beautiful bright blue umbrella in exchange of a leopard pendant. Now everyone in the village envies her prized possession and wants to own it. The story also has some amazing moral lessons in the end as well. I have done a detailed review of this book on my channel which has gotten around 10k views. If you want to check the video out, I'll attach the link in the iCard or in the description down below. Next book which you can read under 100 pages is Animal Farm by George Orwell. This is hardly 80 pages long and you can finish this in a day or two. Orwell's Animal Farm is a satire on Russian Communist Party. Talking in non-symbolic terms, it is a tale of animals living on Manor Farm who rise against their master, Mr. Jones, to suppress dictatorship. So the book clearly highlights Orwell's criticism of Stalin's government and dictatorship in Soviet Russia. So if you want to read something short, easy yet meaningful, then this should be your pick for sure. Alright, so the next book is also one of my absolute favorites. I'm talking about The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. If you haven't read this book, then you definitely should, because this book holds so much beauty and meaning. Whether you are a grown-up, a child, or of any age, doesn't matter. Just go and read this beautifully illustrated book. This book tells you to see life differently. It highlights so many human emotions in a very beautiful way. I think it's a must read. Next in the list is a very beautiful work, that is A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. This is such a beautiful piece of literature that everyone must be reading this at least for once, because it carries such an impactful lesson. You know, it teaches you that one should always be ready to lend a helping hand. It teaches you to be kind and mindful of your actions. The language might bother you a little because it's a Dickens piece, but overall it's a 5-star read for me. Now the next book that I'm going to recommend is my most favorite among all the 10 books that I'm going to recommend in this video. I'm talking about We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I think many people are still not aware of the true concept or meaning of the word feminism. So I think this book is the best book that you can read in order to understand the concept of that word. And also this is a very fast-paced read, and I think you can finish this in one sitting, in 1 hour max. So go and grab a copy. Next in the list is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Now again, a very much talked about book on my channel. I think I've recommended this book so many times, and when you actually go and sit with this book, you wouldn't be able to put your highlighter down, because there is something to learn in each and every page of this book. I'm not even kidding you guys. You can see the way I have highlighted in this book. I mean, of course it's a non-fiction, you have to do this, otherwise reading non-fictions will be of no use. So this is a very short book, almost pocket-sized book, very tiny piece, but the lessons this book holds is great. Everyone should definitely be reading this book. It's a highly recommended piece. Alright, the 7th book in the list is The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by R.L. Stevenson. This book talks about the dual personality of a person, or what you call a split personality. But this is not it. I feel the story highlights that how society suppresses a man who wants to express a side of him that he wouldn't be able to. But not going in detail, I think this is a very short, crisp and entertaining read for sure. The 8th book in the list is a non-fiction, that is Believe in Yourself by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Guys, this is just 80 pages long and I think you will be able to finish this in a sitting or two. I mean, this book talks about that how powerful you can actually become when you start having faith in yourself, when you start believing in yourself. And this is what the book talks about. Not only this, the book also provides you many valuable lessons like these, which you will discover only after you read this book. So I think it's a must read for everybody. So the second last book that I'm going to recommend is a little bit on a tougher side, but trust me, completely worthy of your money and time. I'm talking about Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. This political pamphlet severely criticizes the capitalist theory. Karl Marx hated capitalism to no end. In this book, there is a clash shown between two political theories, that is socialism and capitalism. And Karl Marx has tried to provide logical arguments in support of socialism, contrary to the loopholes that people believed were there in socialist theory. Anyways, not going in much detail, I think this is highly recommended piece and you all should be reading this book for sure. The last book that I'm gonna talk about is an Oscar Wilde's piece, that is The Canterville Ghost. It's a story about a ghost living in an old-fashioned house and some funny plots revolving around it. It's a hilarious read overall and you will enjoy it a lot, so go and pick it up. So that's it guys, these were 10 books under 100 pages which you can pick up if you have just started with your reading journey. Also, if you ask me that out of all these 10 books, which one is my most favorite, then it has to be We Should All Be Feminist by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, hands down, and followed by The Blue Umbrella by Ruskin Bond. Also, do let me know in the comments down below that out of these books, which one have you read. Share your thoughts, and also if you have any good recommendations, then please share in the comments down below. I would love to read them. And also, if you like today's video, if you like the contents that I serve you people, then please consider liking it, sharing the video, commenting down below, and also subscribing to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'll provide the IG handle down here. And yes, until then, be safe, do well, keep connected, and thank you.